on, everybody? It's Fabrice, and we're at this is actually a new location. We're at the Content House in Brooklyn, and as you can see, new season, fresh start. Everything's going well for us. So right now, it's just me. I got Mike on the way, and Taylor, she's feeling a little under the weather. So it's just going to be us two the whole day. We got a lot of shoots coming, so stay on the lookout for that. Today, we have a special guest. It's actually the owner of the Content House herself, Sharik.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to have her, and I'll let her introduce herself. That's fine.
It's fine. Okay, well, thank you for having me. It's gonna stop in 2 minutes. You just gotta edit this part out.
So we're at the Content House, and I'm here with Sharik. She's the owner.
Yes,
and she'll tell you a little bit about herself and why she started with the Content House.
Yes, thank you for having me, first of all. I'm a big fan of the pod.
Likewise. I was thrilled when you told me I could use this space. I said, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I'm happy to hear that you were excited, because that really is what this space is for. It's meant to be a community space for creators, specifically Black creators, who traditionally don't really have a space to be able to do, things like this, to create their art. So I'm happy that you're here. I'm very excited.
Thank you. And you'll see a lot of us here soon. So
definitely. Yeah. And it's honestly really great, because we literally opened 1 month ago, and it has, the amount of attention you've gotten has been so heartwarming, and so it's been nice, when you've been working up to this thing, and then it finally happens, and it's wow, this is why I was doing it. Right. That's honestly how I've been feeling. So it's been great. It's honestly been great.
That's good. So what actually got you to create the Content House?
So the idea of the Content House kind of started because last year I had roommates, and I've been a content creator on TikTok for about 2 years now, and I always had to wait until they were either at work or they had plans or they just weren't in the house to film my content, because I would just feel so awkward and uncomfortable. My room was small. I'd have to do it in the living room. Sometimes I'd have to film in my closet, and so it just wasn't ideal. Plus, I didn't know any other content creators, because there was just no space that I could go to meet other content creators. So funny that you asked that. The idea of the Content House kind of started as a co-working space, and then we kind of got to the idea of, okay, every content creator is going to need a studio, so this kind of we can have the events where we can do creator networking and stuff like that, but more importantly, it's a space that people can come. It's going to be affordable. It's going to always stay affordable at $30 an hour. And it's just a space where people can come and they can use our professional lighting. They can use our tripods and our multi-sets that we have in the studio. They can use the backgrounds. They can use the wardrobe rack. And it's kind of a place for if you're a budding influencer, or if you have been influencing for a few years and you just want a space to come to that is not your tiny New York apartment, this is it, So that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, because I'm looking around, there's so many things here. You have so many different sets, so many different pieces of equipment that people use, and I'll definitely be showing people in the actual video itself. There's a lot going on. Yeah. So it's 4 sets right now. So walk us through each set, starting with this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is our Ebony magazine wall. It has roughly 120 magazine pages. We actually found the magazines from a flea market, and we laminated and curated this entire wall individually on our own. It took us about 5 days to finish, and this wall was just really important because I always wanted to make kind of an homage to the creators and the Black artists ahead of me. And the reason I chose Ebony magazine is because it's something that was made by Black people for Black people, and that's essentially the entire idea of the Content House as well. Damn. I need to figure out how to stop that, because that's...
But it was not doing this whole time.
No, it was on the second week.
As soon as we started, it
right.
just acting up.
Right.
No, it's okay. You can continue though.
But yeah, so it's so loud.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
So today, take two. Right now we're sitting in front of our Ebony magazine wall, and honestly, before we even found a physical location for the content house, I knew that I wanted to do this Ebony magazine wall. It has roughly 120 magazine pages from the 60s and 70s, and essentially the reason behind it is because I have always loved the fact that Ebony Magazine is by Black people for Black people, and that's essentially what the content house is about, and that's kind of how it was founded. Just with the fact that as a Black woman, I have to move through the world a little bit different than other creators that may not look like me, they may not share the same hair type or skin color. And so this was just kind of an homage to making things for Black people, shamelessly for Black people, you know? So yeah, so that's this wall.
Nice. So from this wall, I actually knew you were gonna pick this wall.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I wore this sweater.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, this is sick.
Going on.
Oh, I actually didn't even see that. This is awesome.
This is actually made by my friend Freddie.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked out the episode already, everybody at home, check out the episode, Prolific Fabric. Every February he makes something for Black History Month. So I actually purposely wore this because I had a feeling you were gonna pick this wall, and I feel like everything matches the theme. So
100%.
Yeah.
Sick. I love it.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So from here, then we go to this set right here.
Yeah, so that is actually our palette wall, and the idea behind that wall actually came from an Indian wedding, and so I saw, super random, right?
Like it was one that you went to.
No, I wish, that would have been awesome. No, I saw it on Pinterest because essentially I knew I wanted to do this wall, and I had a few other ideas, but we had two more walls that we needed to fill, and nothing was really concrete. And so I was just scrolling on Pinterest, and I saw like this beautiful Indian wedding setup where they had all these different palettes, kind of like that. Just like, and it went up like 4 stories, and it went out so wide, and they painted all of them, and it was beautiful, and it was colorful. And so that's kind of the thing. Also, a little fun fact, the couch that's in front of the palette wall was actually supposed to be in front of the Ebony magazine wall, but when we were finished with the wall, we realized the couch was way too low for how tall the wall went. I just think we didn't really expect for the wall to go that high up. And so we were like, okay, well now we have to kind of curate a set so that we don't have to sell the nice couch that we found. So that's basically, the reason that we decided to go with kind of the wood and black and yellow tones for the wood palette wall.
Well, you can also move things around, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so every potential customer out there, if you, feel a little creative and, you want to move things around just based off what you see so far, talk to Sharik about it, and she'll definitely let you know.
Absolutely. Anything can go anywhere. They're curated to the set, but if you need a prop or something, you think it feels better anywhere else, then you can do that for sure.
Right, so now we have this one right here. So these are albums.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
So we have this is our vinyl wall, and essentially it's kind of similar to the Ebony magazine wall in the fact that everything that you see on that wall is a Black artist or is inspired by Black art, and it just kind of goes back to the homage to Black creators before me. And I just really wanted to make sure I was having, Blackness in different mediums because, yes, there's music, and then there's also like art or like something like that, or like Black models and stuff like that. So I just kind of wanted little places around the room where you saw different homages to different Black creators that came before.
That's good. Yeah, so I mean, I would probably see
We got Aretha Franklin up there. We got Motown.
I see a little Michael Jackson in there.
Listen, that was expensive.
Soon. It'll be here soon.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah. And then our final set is right in front of us. You guys can't see it, but we're looking right at it.
Yeah, so this is our green and orange wall. And this wall honestly came about a day before we even opened the content house, which it was an insane project to finish in a day because we had our studio open, but we were literally like, we just have to get it done. We needed one more set, and I actually just found this, and I have always loved color block, and so the fact that these are two completely different, I have a design degree, which is also, things in my brain are always like, the color wheel. And so the fact that these are so, they're opposite on the color wheel was just, I just loved it immediately. And when I saw these chairs, I knew that I wanted a green wall. And we're actually not done curating the set. We're going to add some plants eventually and kind of really make it into a whole oasis. And so, yeah, that's that one.
Yeah, so out of all 4 sets, which would you say is your favorite?
I feel like you can answer that.
Yeah.
The Ebony magazine wall.
It's mine too, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
It's
100%.
definitely mine.
100%.
I'll probably say that's probably your poster set. Like, I feel like for most of the content I've seen you post, I've mostly seen that set.
Yeah, no,
or not
for
just
sure.
from you, but just like even from seeing
other
your
people.
page and seeing people repost things.
Yeah.
It
No, people
gravitates
love
towards
this set. People love this set. I think what I'm gonna do is like kind of see the next, I don't know, maybe 5-6 months, what kind of content people post and where they post it in front of, and then go from there. If we have to like readjust sets or like kind of completely tear down a set and add something completely new, because I really want to make sure that this space is completely being used. So yeah,
that's a good idea right there.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you were a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you still are.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what type of content do you do?
Yeah, so for a while I was making a lot of content because I was working in the film industry mainly before I opened up my studio. And for a while I was working, and I was just talking a lot about, being black in film. I don't know if y'all realize, but like, I am unapologetically black. I love black people. I be talking about black events and black artists all the time. And so naturally, my content was revolving around
And she's on a black owned
being
podcast.
black. Right, exactly. And I'm on this black owned podcast. And so I'm rooting for everything black. I'm always doing everything black. And so that's kind of what my platform was about, was getting more people of color into these film spaces, into these creative rooms, because a lot of times they write narratives about us without anyone that looks like me in the room, and that doesn't make any sense. And so that was kind of, just being a production assistant and being a production coordinator and being like, hey, like, if you want to work in film, I was working on a Netflix show, I worked on like Marvel shows, like all these like huge productions. That was kind of my platform of, if you want to come and you want to work on a show like this, then you just reach out to me and I'll put you in contact with the people who you need to talk to. So that was kind of that's what I was doing before. Now I've kind of pivoted a little bit more to lifestyle and just talking. Like the other day I made a video about like the love-hate relationship with New York, because sometimes I love living here, sometimes I hate living here. Yeah! Like, this place is chaos.
I can't say I hate New York too much.
You say you love it or you hate it?
Yeah, I love it. I can't say I hate New York too much.
Well, that's good. Some days, like, for instance, like if I'm on the subway and something crazy happens, I'm like, this place is chaotic. Like, I need a break. But that was just, so that's what I'm saying is like I've kind of pivoted to like lifestyle, just living and making videos and stuff like that.
Because you're originally from Florida, right?
Yeah. Well, I grew up here,
I
actually.
was confused when you were telling me that earlier. So.
I know. I grew up in the Bronx, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So I grew up in the Bronx, and then when I was 12, I left to go down to Orlando. So kind of both, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah. Like half and half, honestly. Almost, like exactly 10 years in 10 years. Because I was born in Jamaica, and then here, and then Florida.
Oh, like the country?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Not Jamaica Queens. Yeah, the country. The country, Montego Bay, Jamaica. Yeah. So yeah.
How long so you were just born there, like you didn't actually live there? Or like?
No, sadly, yeah. I honestly don't remember much about living in Jamaica because I was 2.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So I was only there for 2 years. I came up 4 days after 9/11, actually, and I was here ever since. We never, moved back to Jamaica, and then we moved down to Florida when I was 12. So yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that. So you said you went to school for theater, and then you're a content creator. So like, I guess you could say it does go hand in hand in terms of like doing what you love to do, basically.
I went to school for web design.
Oh, web design.
Yeah,
You said theater. I was kind of.
I said design earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said theater. You
It's
saying
okay.
HBO, Netflix, everything.
Oh, yeah. No worries. Yeah, well, it's actually interesting because I think my design degree came in handy when I was building the studio, just because color palette, like I know the color wheel like the back of my hand. So I'm really able to kind of look at things and be able to be like, okay, well, orange and this is on the opposite ends of the color wheel, so they will look good. If you put them together, they'll just be contrasting.
I didn't even know that.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so, like, my degree has definitely helped me kind of build out the studio. And then I think just, like, throughout my life, I've had a lot of really random experience where I'm really able to, you know, run a business at this point. Because, yeah, you can be creative, but if you don't have any business skills, it's not gonna work, you know what I mean? And so I think this studio really kind of marries the two things I'm really good at, where it's, you know, my creativity, but also my ability to run a business and to command a room and to be able to be like, hey, I'm Sharik, we own the content house, let's talk about business, you know what I mean? So I think it's been good.
So if you weren't into like the content creation industry, so like what do you think like you'd be doing in terms of like just, I guess you could say career, just like not even career, but even just business. Like if you were to start a business in another industry or field, like what do you think?
If I wasn't gonna do this,
Yeah.
I'd do tech. I feel like that's where the money's at.
Yeah.
I be seeing. I have a friend that works in tech. Shout out Mutale.
Yeah,
And and that girl, she is the richest 24-year-old I've ever met.
Jeez.
Like she be
I just
buying.
like that.
Like I'm like, girl.
Like
I was like, put me
I have some
on.
tech friends. Shout out Sahi, Dodi, all those guys.
Like no, it really is like that. And so I think that's the if I weren't to be doing this, I would do tech. But also, to be honest, I'm not really a corporate girl. I've tried it before many times, and I don't like it. And so if I must, I would do that industry, but I would rather not, honestly.
So like, if you had to like start like a business in that, like, what do you think your idea would be if like you just had to be on the innovative side?
I think in tech, I'd probably like make an app. To be honest, because my degree's in web design, so I know how to like code.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that in the back of my head.
Yeah. Because I know how to code and do all of that. I know like user experience design and stuff like that. And so I'd make an app, I think is what I'd do.
What kind of app? Like what idea do you have? Or do you just want to keep that to yourself?
I was about to say, I can't tell you.
Yeah, because I just think, I was like, somebody might still
No, that's exactly.
Confidential.
No, it's right. After the cameras are done, I'll tell you. But yeah, it's really funny you asked that because when I was in college, we had to pretty much answer that question and like flesh out an entire design and like a mini like wireframe and stuff like that. Basically just like showing what the app would look like, the functionalities of the app and stuff like that, just to kind of like prepare us to like be able to sell our app in the real world. And I have not done it yet, but I need to. Yeah, I definitely need to because, you know, I have all the plans, which is why I can't say anything, but I just haven't executed it yet, and there's still no app like it. So we'll see. Multifaceted I am, you know?
I see that for sure. That's very talented, you know, have all these skill sets. Yeah. And I actually like that, the whole idea of like projects in school, because I feel like looking back, even the other day when I was looking through my Google Drive, I was looking for like specific things in there, specific files. And I was looking at, you know, projects I did, like college, high school, even papers that I wrote. I was rereading some of them. It's like, I'm actually glad I did these assignments. They were a pain in the butt to do in the moment, but it's like looking back, I'm just like, some of these projects I've done actually helped me in terms of building a skill set. You know, public speaking, you know, just even just helping me with my grammar and things like that.
Absolutely.
You know? So it's just like there's a lot that we kind of undervalue in our youth, in our younger ages, but as we get older and we look back, we see like where it paid off. So I actually like that you touched on that.
Absolutely. And I think, I mean, if you have any, you know, younger viewers, I think right now, a lot of times when you're younger, you're like, I don't know why I'm doing this. This is so frustrating. This is so annoying. But to be honest, like, when I was first getting, you know, into the real world, I used the projects I did in college or the projects I did in high school even to just be like, hey, look, I have done this before. You know what I mean? So it's definitely, like, something that it comes back around. It definitely comes back around.
Yeah. So my question to you will also be like, if you had to pick a specific type of content creator to have like host here, like who would you want to bring?
A specific person?
Yeah, like it could be a YouTuber, just any type of content creator. Like if it was like, you know, if it would be an honor to have this person here, who do you like want to see come here?
I think I would actually have, her name is Melinda.
And get to work with them too.
Huh? And get to work with them. Her name is, okay, so before I answer that, one, have you watched Too Hot to Handle?
No, that's a show or you?
Yeah, it's a Netflix TV show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, everybody knows this. I'm not a TV guy, I'm not a movie guy. Like, I just kind of go with the flow.
Not a movie guy.
Yeah, like, I just saw Black Panther the other day, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And that's just because, like.
Come on.
I don't know, I'm not really, like, if anything, the only person I watch on my TV screen is LeBron James. Like,
Come on, that's wild.
I'll be honest with you.
Not even movies? Listen, I can understand not being a
for
TV
fun,
guy.
but, like, you know. Not like
to
I
analyze,
got it. Yeah.
Not with your notebook out.
Yeah,
that's fair. Anywho, she's on this Netflix TV show. Her name is Melinda, and she is I first saw her like 2 years ago or like last year or whatever, and now she's a full-time influencer content creator. I don't know if she was doing it before, but basically, I consider her a content creator because she does all different things. I think her because she is kind of changing, you know, what being a black woman on a reality TV show looks like, or what being a black woman in any space looks like, because she is short like me and you know, is not the typical like model or the typical this or the typical that, you know. And so I think I would definitely, she would be my number one. My number two would probably be DeAndre Brown. Have you heard of him?
No.
He is this content creator that basically he makes a lot of videos about quitting your corporate job, which amen.
Okay.
You know,
maybe
right?
I've seen him.
Yeah. You've probably seen him.
Yeah, because I see a lot of memes like that.
Yeah, no, you honestly have probably seen him. He like always like closes the laptop when they're talking.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like yeah. So I would love to have him. This girl Monet, I love her.
Yeah.
She's very like, I like the fact that she's just herself on camera and people like her just because she's
sometimes that's
awesome.
all it is.
Yeah, no, that really is. But the thing is, I feel like a lot of times, like, I feel like specifically for me and like the other black women I've talked to, is it's kind of like, okay, well, we have to fit into this niche. We can't just talk. All these other, you know, white influencers are able to do their little dance and get paid millions of dollars. Whereas, like, we got to work 10 times harder to get half as far. Like, you know what I mean?
We should be able to do the same thing.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And so, I don't know, just being able to see black women just being is so powerful for me, because it's like, wow, she's just talking to the camera and she's got like millions of views on these videos and millions of followers, you know? It's just, it's very impressive.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So I'm more of like a Kai Cenat type of guy. Like, I don't know if you watch him.
Ooh.
Kai Cenat. So like he actually just broke like the Twitch record just now for like most Twitch subscribers, whatever.
Oh wow.
And I don't know, I just like his energy. Like, he's very exciting. Like, even in person, from like what I see when people are around him, like in person, like, he's not one of those people that just fake it for the camera. Like, like you said, just naturally being myself, racking up a bunch of views. So yeah, I could definitely see him, like, you know, doing something like here.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know him?
No.
You said, oh.
I would trust me. I would have been out of it. Like.
Right. I was like, if you know him, you can send that contact. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think he left. He left New York. I think he's in ATL. I think somewhere. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look him up later.
Yeah, he's definitely like one of the big, like the hottest YouTubers out right now.
Really?
Yeah, like,
see, that's the thing. I'm really not into YouTube like that, and I know I need to be, just because like that's where the money is and that's where the community is. But yeah.
Well, I actually like that you're not, because it shows that, you know, content creator doesn't just mean YouTuber. Right. Like, or TikToker. It could be literally from any media outlet. It could be any type of content, really. Right. You know, we just had a whole year of people talking back and forth about OnlyFans. At the end of the day, they're still labeled as content creators. Right. So regardless of what they're doing, because I know obviously there's people who don't do what most people think they do on OnlyFans, but like, you know, there's people that do things like that. So, you know, it's different avenues when it comes to content creation. Even my podcast makes me a content creator.
100%. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's actually nice that you touched up on that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So like, what advice would you give to any upcoming content creators or just anybody who's thinking about trying to figure out something?
Yeah, I would say post your content 1000%. Every single person, literally post your content. In your drafts, your content is not going to get you the connections, it's not going to get you views, it's not going to get you the followers. Post the content. There's no reason why you're having drafts.
Right.
Like, what's the reason to go through the work to make the content if you're not going to post it? Because truthfully, you have no clue. That one video posted could change the entire trajectory of your life.
That is true.
So post the content. I think a lot of times we get so caught up in perfection that we're like, if it's not perfect, I'm not going to post it. No! Post the content.
Yeah.
And it's going to be cool because 2 years from now, you can look back and you can be like, oh my God, I've come so far. That's incredible. But like, you can't do that. You can't be able to look back if you don't actually post the one from today, you know? Post the content.
And like I said on my episode with Surprise NYC, you know, it's a business, right? You want to post your business. One gem I learned from marketing was post your business 10 times a day. It doesn't matter if people unfollow you. It doesn't matter if people, you know, just think you're annoying. Keep posting that business because one day, you know, today, tomorrow, next week might be that big day for you where you posted it 10 times, you know, throughout the day, and the right person sees it, and it opens millions of doors for you. So, you know, it's something that I always emphasize all the time. You know, post your content. You know, don't shy away from it. Even me, you know, this is actually my secret, but you know, for me, like, I made a meme page just to build this podcast. I didn't do it to actually be funny. I didn't do it to actually gain clout or whatever. I just wanted like to gain attention for my podcast. So it's like. There's this one comedian on Instagram. His name is Low Key Mar. He's like, I don't know if you know, but he's like very well known, like especially around Brooklyn because he's from here. And his memes are like pretty much the same thing. It's like he just changes the caption. It's the same exact meme. He just changes the caption.
Right.
And I do the same thing where it's like same exact meme. I'll just change the caption. And I've been able to like get some new subscribers just off of that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I didn't get like, you know, where I want to be, but that's not going to stop me from posting 10 times a day.
Right.
That's not going to stop me from even just creating new memes, right? Things like that. And I feel like, you know, there's different ways to just like market yourself just through content creation. Because even one of my friends, or even my cousin too, you know, they just post just to post. Like they're like, it's not like they have a plan with this. They just do it because that's naturally who they are. No, they're naturally funny people, naturally entertaining people. And they get endorsements off of this, you know. Even like me with this podcast, I've been getting, you know, free things, you know. Yeah, a lot of like just free gear, even free food. Like, you know, I mean, like who doesn't love free food? But you know, it's just like there's so many different things you can get just for, you know, being funny or entertaining. I see guys get a bunch of invites to like, you know, they put them on like party flyers and people actually go to the party, like these clubs and stuff, just because that one person's there.
Right.
And they people take pictures with these guys like they're celebrities. Granted, they probably are, like, you know, at least, you know, in their audience, or at least they probably will be one day. Like, look at Shiggy, for example. I remember when Shiggy was, you know, like at 50K followers.
Right.
He used to show up in all these parties and stuff. People were taking pictures with him. Now, you know, was he at 3 million, I think?
Right.
So it's just like, you never know.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. Post the content. Always.
Yeah. So, do you have any final words that you want to give the audience before we go?
I will say, definitely come to the Content House if you're a creator. We're definitely, you know, up, you know, on the come up. Just hired our first 2 employees, which is really exciting. I'd also just say, like, and I already said it, but, you know, post the content. Don't think about perfection. I don't want to say don't have expectations because it's good to have goals, but don't have expectations that will crush you if you don't meet them. Be afraid to fail. I love this quote that I heard where it's,
I've been hearing that a lot.
It's, what do they say? It's like, if you knew you had 99 no's before you get to your one yes, wouldn't you be chasing the no's? And so, like, just do it. Just do the thing that you keep wanting to do and chase the no's, chase the closed doors until you finally get to an open one, you know? So, I'd say that. Also, follow the Content House. And that's it from me. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yeah.
I actually love that advice because that's actually what motivated me to start my podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm actually pretty happy to hear that again for the 100th time because
chase the
it's
nose.
good to have it ring in your head.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely. Because if someone else can do it, so can you. Honestly.
Yeah, that's
Honestly.
a fact.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I definitely appreciate you for even giving me the opportunity to film this episode with you, and definitely be on the lookout for more content, not just from us but from Sharik as well. Never know, she might stop by in another episode. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Like I said before, make sure you follow her, make sure you follow us, make sure you subscribe to our channel, make sure you follow our Instagram. Make sure you share as well, right? Sharing is a big part of it. I know there's a lot of you out there. A lot of you out there, they just like it. They don't actually look at it, don't actually check it out. But, the share goes a long way. So, I appreciate that. And especially, too, I'm also looking for more, I guess you could say, not just content creators, but just more business people. So I'm trying to, with this podcast, I'm trying to branch out to as many different fields that I can in terms of showing people what a business looks like, and this is a business even if you didn't think it is. So you might have a friend who could definitely work well with me on this platform, and I could work well with them. So why not put them on and we could do something together. So like I said, make sure comment, subscribe, share, and we're out.
Yeah. Peace.